Hello everyone. I want us to talk about my trading journal because yesterday, while I was in the house, because it was my resting day Saturday, while I was in the house, I was actually I something just triggered me. Just look at your journal, just go through. So as I was going through, I observed a pattern. Let me show you guys something. Let me show you people. So as you can clearly see, starting my forex challenge, my risk reward was 1 to 3, one trade per day, regardless whether I made money or not, whether I made profit or not. My loss size was 0.2. My standard, I had standard SL, and regardless of whatever cheat, my standard SL was 10 pips, and TP was 30 pips. My risk was 20% of the entire account per trade. So you can clearly see my very first trade was SL. The second one right here was SL. The third one was TP, So for that particular week, you can see that I took 5 trades, had 2 TPs and 3 SLs. Main error, didn't respect order flow, and the last trade was as a result of impatience. Was actually trading against the trend. Okay. Though I still ended the week profitable, not a significant sum, but it is a win. Starting with $18, ended with plus $9. $18. Started with $18, ended with plus 9. That is 50% of the account. 50% of the account. So if not the fact that I the account size was very small. Let's just say for example, I was actually trading a 500 account, a $500 account, and I was risking exactly as I risked. That was $250 in a week. That is money in a week. Or let's say, for example, I was actually trading a 1,000 account and I was risking as I was risking. All right, that is $500 in a week. But simply because as I was trading a small capital, so it was somehow discouraging. You understand? So if if we continue further, you can clearly see that at a certain point, no, is here. At a certain point, I started defaulting. At a certain point, I started defaulting. This is my week two. My week two, same thing, same procedure, everything, same thing. New week. I'm sure. Okay, this is the recap of my second week. This is the third week. Yes, I think, yeah, that should be it. My third week, and I think that should be all. The other week, the last week, I didn't do. Okay, this is the last week. I think, yeah, something like that. So I tried trading live account for about a month. It was my very first time of doing that. So it was a very big challenge. It was a very big challenge, but one thing this challenge taught me was that at a certain point I discovered that I was very patient in the challenge. But now, because of lack of capital, I was trying to scale my capital quickly. I was trying to grow the account quickly. This is where now my psychology got fucked up, because if in terms of percentages, I was doing very well. I was doing very well. Very well. I can remember I had $50. I took it to about $72. In terms of percentage, that is actually a lot of money. That is a lot of money. So, but since as I had a very small account, I was trying to scale as fast as possible. So, and bills were there piling up. I needed to eat, I needed to pay bills, I needed to get some things for myself in school, and all of that, and all those things put together. That is why they always recommend that if you must be a trader, all right, you need to get a job first. If you know that you do not have the capital, get a job, so that you don't feel this pressure of you wanting to just make it quick. You get the point? So you just need to just kill that pressure, kill it entirely, kill it completely. Get a job, get something. But currently, right now, but I got, but I've also realized one thing. At that particular point, I had rules, and I followed my rules strictly to the letter. Nothing was missed out. Nothing was missed out. But for the other trading account, that's like the problems that I actually had, or that I have gotten from that particular period to now, one thing I realized is I didn't follow my rules. And it is very important as a trader that you have your rules and you have them stated out. You have them stated out. Like when you get up in the morning, as you're looking at the chart, have I seen this factor? 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 So long as those factors align, whether SL or profit, you maintain them. Currently, right now, my principal rule right now, the very first one is I look for market structure. When I get the market structure, I look for market levels, market structure levels. After market structure levels, I look for liquidity in the market. After liquidity in the market, I mark key zones. Though the market structure levels still act like key zones, I still look for key zones, especially on the 4 hours time frame, particularly because on market structure levels, actually, I mostly mark them on the 1 week and the 1 day. So I drop down to the 4 hours time frame and I look for key levels and I look for liquidity levels. All right. Then after looking for all of that, I now look for internal structures and internal liquidities to be on the safe side of the market. And after that, I wait for price to play out according to my analysis. If price has already played out according to my analysis, I just take my trade. That is how I function now. That is why, and also as because I think about a few days back I was telling my friend, if you trade a pair long enough, you will understand that there's a standard SL that you will continue using for that particular instrument, and it will not bother you. And that is why I was able to have a standard SL for EU, because EU was 10 pips. It was something that I've gone through. I had gone through. Monitor. It was something I had gone through. It was something that I had gone through and observed, and I noticed that most of the SLs never get to right up to 10 pips based on the way I was trading. So I had to, because uh because unless it all depends on your trading model, but regardless, I just wanted to just show you guys my trading journal to understand that it is very important, because when you journal your trades, it's kind of like a review. Okay, for example, now I went through my trading journal yesterday and I made one observation. I was disciplined, which means that me being disciplined, I was able to make money and the rest. So I just need to go back to that same system. So traders, that is that. Nothing much. Journal your trades, follow your risks, uh, follow your trading rules. They are very, very important if you must be profitable in this journey. Very, very important, because that's one thing I noticed. And I think it is always important that you go through your journals. It kind of reminds you of how much growth you have achieved, and there's certain aspects that I think as a trader probably you might be missing out. So it is very important. Always go through your journal. Like yesterday, if I didn't go through my journal, I wouldn't have actually noticed if I was actually good at discipline or not. You get, and also because of capital. Capital too is very, very essential, because if you have a very good capital, there's a way you are going to trade and profitability is going to come as fast as possible. If that is that, if you are new to the channel, please subscribe, like, and share. Thank you, and hope to see you in the next.